You know how we say we have a hot topic, and a lot of times we overuse that? Not this time.
California, just a signature away from having what could be, the toughest, most aggressive equal pay law in the nation.
The new Fair Pay Act has now passed the state Senate and is on the governor's desk, and the governor has pretty much said he would sign this.
Yes.
Now, the bill mandates equal pay for employees that perform substantially similar work duties, even if they have different job titles or work in different departments for the same employer, even if it's like cities apart. So, a female hotel housekeeper would have to be paid the same as a male janitor if they do substantially the same job.
This is huge. Joining us now, family law attorney Debra Opri.
Yes, any way you want to say it.
I don't think we're going to have nearly enough time to discuss all the nuances that are...
This is huge.
Well, when I was asked to speak, I immediately said, oh my God, this is going to make it much easier for my female clients to get more money. And it's going to make it easier for my male clients to get out of having to pay more money because they're basically going to be earning similar salaries.
Because the burden of proof here is on the employer.
Yes.
So if someone says, I'm being discriminated against when it comes to my pay, it's up to the employer to prove that he or she is not discriminated.
The goal of this bill, and it's unanimous in the legislature, everyone voted for it. It's going to be signed by the governor. It basically takes the boulder off the shoulders of the employer, and they say there is legislation now. There is a law that says you are doing this, you are doing this, you match up the job description, same salary. The problem is going to be for the CEOs to say to the shareholders, well, I know we have 90% females working, but now we have to pay them more. So do profits go down with the corporations? I don't know. But as a family law attorney, when I'm looking at what am I going to get for my female clients versus what my male clients are going to have to pay in support, it's really going to rattle and roll the court system.
You know, my question, and it specifically states in this bill that you can no longer be penalized for asking what
That's right.
your male counterpart is making, which was something that people, you know, were kind of afraid to do. You know, they kind of knew men were making more, but you're afraid if you ask, you come off as pushy. Or
yeah.
But now, by law,
you couldn't ask.
Yeah.
But right now, let me say I have a memory of when I first started. It was, why are you asking for the same salary as Joe Schmo? You don't have a family. You're not married.
Right.
That's out the window.
Right.
That doesn't exist anymore. It's antiquated. So going to today's world, it's going to be easier for the children who are getting into the workforce, the young people, to say, hey, look, I'm applying for this job. You're paying him this. I want the same salary.
But my question is, there are so many nuances when it comes to...
And exceptions.
And exceptions when it comes to different kinds of work. Let's say, for instance, yes, it's probably a lot easier to judge if you have two janitors doing basically the same job. What happens when you have, for instance, and I'll use Hollywood as an example, two co-stars in a movie, one female, one male, and the male is being paid substantially more than the female, which is not unusual.
I'll just give the caveat. It's almost like you two.
Right.
It is the foundation of a good first step with this bill. But there are exceptions. There are people who are saying, well, what about discrimination and the race and the disabilities? What about that? Are they going to be included? It's a good first step, and all I can say on like personal service contracts, there are going to be exceptions of, well, it's not only their job description, i.e. a Kevin Hart or a Will Ferrell. It's not the job description, it's how much box office they can bring in. How much of an audience share does this person get?
Is this going to clutter the courts?
I think it's going to reduce it.
You think it's going to reduce it?
It's certainly going to make the agents more valuable. It's Hollywood.
But also, I like that it takes the burden off women, this bill in particular, because, you know, everyone was constantly saying, well, it's women's fault that they don't get paid as much. They don't ask for as much, and they don't,
That's an ignorant comment, don't you think?
Yeah. And so now it takes the burden off that. It's not.
It absolutely does. It now says, there is a law that says if this job description is similar to this job description, it's equal pay. Women in this country are 78 cents to
Right.
a dollar for men. In this state, 84 cents to a dollar.
And
lower
when it
for
comes to women of
Hispanic
color,
minorities.
yes, it's even,
And we don't need
the
to go down
disparity
that
is
road,
even-
but the disparity is
even greater.
It's
yeah.
absolutely even
You know,
greater.
we could talk to you about this for
We
an
need to
hour
have you back
easily.
on.
I
We really
appreciate
do,
it.
because
Yeah.
I think once this actually takes effect, once the governor actually signs this bill
And it
into
goes
law,
into effect.
I think then there's a lot more discussion
There's a
to this
lot
to
more
be had.
discussion
Right.
coming. We're just starting.
And I will
But
need
it's
you to
good
go
have-
into my boss's office with me and try and get that Tony money as soon as this thing
Tony
is
money?
signed.
Lawyers
Gonna
do
be
that.
living high off the hog. Deborah Opri, thanks so
I
much.
had fun. Thanks.
It's a figment of her imagination, by the way, Deborah, just for the record, since
Oh, I don't
you're a
know.
lawyer, and
I'm
I'd
a
like
woman
to,
lawyer.
like to
I
state
don't
things,
know.
Okay.
like to state things on the record here. All right, thanks, Deborah. Really appreciate it. All right.